This quadratic is equivalent to this quadratic. Find the values of the constants a, b and c. On the axis on page 27, sketch the curve with this equation, showing clearly the coordinates of any points where the curve crosses the coordinate axes. So here's the question then. Let's have a little look at this. So here, so a, well 4x squared, and this is going to be an x squared term, isn't it? So a has to be 4. Here a is equal to 4, and that was looking at the x squared term both sides, wasn't it? If we looked at the constants both sides, we could do that. A is now 4. We could look at the number of x's. Yeah, let's look at the x terms now. On this side we've got 8 is equal to, now there's, when we expand this bracket we'll get 2bx times a, so it's 2bx times a. We don't need the x, it's the number of x's we're interested in. And that's it, that's the number of x's. A is 4, isn't it? So we could actually write that in here, times 4. So 8b equals 8, so that tells us that b is 1 then, isn't it? A is 4, b is 1. And now if we do the constants both sides, so we'll get on this side we'll get 3. And on this side we'll have a times b squared as a constant coming out, plus the c. So c is equal to 3 minus, move this ab squared over to here to minus a, which is 4, times 1 squared. So c is equal to minus 1, isn't it? Okay, so we found a, b and c. So we can actually write down that 4x squared plus 8x plus 3 is equal to a, which is 4, x plus b, which is x plus 1 squared, plus c, and c is minus 1. So now part B, we want to sketch this. Let's just do the sketch here. Rather, because we've got digital pen, so I'll just do a quick sketch here. And then across here. And let's put the axes in. This is the x, this is the y. I'm going to move it down slightly, the axes. Move it down to say here. Put in the origin. Now 4 times x plus 1 squared minus 1. Well, when x is minus 1, say here, then this will be 0, won't it? And we'll have a value of minus 1. That's the lowest point. And when x is 0, if we look at 0 for example, we'll have 1 squared, so it's 4 minus 1 is 3. So it's going to come down here. I'm going to draw it with dashed lines because it's hard to draw with a digital pen. Go through here, turn here and come back up. And this value, that was minus 1, wasn't it, here? And this value is the height when x is 0, we get 4 times 1 minus 1 is 3. So it's not drawn to scale slightly because this would be up a lot more, wouldn't it? So different scale on the y-axis to the x-axis. So this coordinate here is the value when x is 0, y is 3. These values are when y equals 0. So here, if we look at those, we'll have 4x plus 1 squared minus 1 equals 0. So 4 brackets x plus 1 squared equals 1. Move the 1 over. Move the 4 from times to divide. X plus 1 squared is equal to 1/4. Square root both sides. So that would tell us that x plus 1 is equal to plus or minus 1/4. And then move the 1 over to minus 1. So it would be 1/4 minus 1 is minus 3/4. Or x equals, move the 1 over to minus 1/4, minus 1 is minus 5/4. So these are the two roots. So this value here is the bigger negative value, minus 5/4 and 0. And this value here is minus 3/4 and 0. So we've indicated all the coordinates where the curve crosses the coordinate axes. Just one slight correction here. When I square rooted, we had a quarter and we square rooted. When you square root a quarter, you get plus or minus a half, don't you? So I need to change that here. That's a half. So then we have minus 3/2 here, not 4. And then move it over, you get minus 1 plus a half is minus a half. So that will change things slightly, won't it? So this will be minus 1/2. So move the 1 over, half take 1 is minus a half, and then minus a half take 1 is minus 3/2. So our coordinates will need correcting here, won't they? So this was minus 3/2, the first one, and this was minus a half here, like so.